Thanks for joining us here on THV 11 Plus for your 11 on 11 weekend wrap up. I'm Tamer Knight. We start with a number of runoff elections underway right now in central Arkansas. For some Little Rock voters, they're making a key decision in a high-stake race for State Senate District 15. With no Republican opponent in the race, the winner will likely take the seat, making this one of the most important local contests in this election cycle. THV 11's Tanya Motorzycki takes a look at what's at stake.
This is not just a primary, it's an election. In State Senate District 15, voters deciding between experience and a fresh perspective in a Democratic runoff. State Representative Tara Shepard, who's fought for juvenile justice, faces off against educator Charity Smith Allen. Allen, who says she's planning to advocate for education.
The results that were promised by the LEARNS Act. And so many parents are getting discouraged because they are not seeing the immediacy in the results. Well, I think we need to take a step back and look at what actually works. Research-based, rigorous, and practice-based.
She says third graders need to know how to read, which is why she'd like to see some of the state surplus funds be allocated for educational resources.
That we give these funds to kids because education is the #1 priority of this state, and a good, sound public education is what we say in law that we want for our kids, and it is so desperately needed.
Shepard says she'll continue fighting to cut off the education to prison pipeline and make sure the elderly community is taken care of permanently.
What we need to see is, in our budget, we need to have a line item dedicated to our elderly population. Our seniors deserve more than our respect. They deserve to know that the state of Arkansas cares for them.
She says money needs to be put in the areas that truly help Arkansans.
There are things in which we can spend those dollars on to ensure that our elderly are taken care of, to ensure our children are being taken care of, to ensure that our moms, especially our pregnant moms, when you look at the maternal health crisis in Arkansas.
In Little Rock, Tanya Motorzycki, THV 11 News.
Another big race is the one for Secretary of State between Senator Kim Hammer and Brian Norris. Cole Jester and Governor Sanders have endorsed Hammer, while Norris says he wants to bring back elections Arkansans can trust. Meanwhile, Attorney General Tim Griffin announced 8 people have been arrested for influencing the outcome of the 2024 primary runoff for Justice of the Peace in District 9 in Phillips County. The arrests include Lita Johnson, a teacher at Marvel School District who won the runoff. She told multiple voters to illegally change the address on their voter registration so they could vote for her in the runoff. The others were charged for fraudulently changing their address to vote elsewhere. And Representative Stan Berry has passed away at 71 years old. Berry, who was representing District 44, was serving his 77th term in the Arkansas House. Since his death was announced earlier this week, a number of local and politicians have released statements offering condolences to his friends and family. Most notably, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders, who said, "It was a pleasure to serve the people of the River Valley and all of Arkansas alongside him and work to make our state a better place to call home." Both chambers of the state legislature will reconvene at the Capitol to begin this year's fiscal session. That's the period where your state lawmakers see which part of the agenda gets funded. The biggest topic this year include making tax cuts and pouring more money into education. Discussions for that and much more get started next month on April 8th. Our Catherine Rowley talked with an Arkansas senator about how this year's session should shape up.
I think Arkansans can expect more of the same with the legislature, that we are going to be very fiscally responsible with their money.
The Senate Pro Temp Bart Hester says a main priority is funding education and pouring more money into Arkansas schools than in previous decades.
We're all in on our public schools education, right? It's where the majority of taxpayers' dollars go in the state of Arkansas. You can add up all other spending, and it doesn't come close.
Hester told me that lawmakers plan on adding more funds to Medicare at the state level. And they could also vote on some one-year expenditures.
Things that we're committed to 1 year at a time rather than adding it to a budget reoccurring. So we'll be having those two different discussions. What should happen on the always budget And that's what everybody wants in. They want the budget that's always going to happen versus the one-time spend.
There's also been discussion over a special session that could be called after the fiscal session is adjourned, and it would focus on cutting taxes. But it's too soon to tell how much and if a special session will happen.
There's one person that gets to decide if we're having a special session. That's the governor. I think she wants to. She's committed to continuing to cut our taxes. We've got to get in. We've got to get our budget settled and determine what's the world economy look like? What's the state economy look like? Right now, we feel really good about it.
We did not have time to go over every answer from the senator, but the rest of those answers can be found on thv11.com. The senator did tell me that the fiscal status of Arkansas is strong, with about $3 billion in savings. And just how much the taxes could be cut depends on how the session goes. The session is expected to last 30 days and end on May 7th. Catherine Rowley, THV 11 News.
Well, new numbers from the Arkansas Game and Fish Commission show a troubling trend on the water, with boating deaths in the state hitting their highest level in more than a decade. THV 11's Tanya Motorzycki hears what preventative measures are being taken.
For many Arkansans, the water is a place to relax. But new numbers show it's becoming more dangerous, with boating deaths now at their highest point since 2009. According to Arkansas Game and Fish Commission spokesman Trey Reed, a newly released accident report for 2025 shows 17 people died while boating. The number of boat accidents jumped to 73, and the most since 2020. One of the main reasons, Reed says,
is simply operator inattention, not keeping a proper lookout, either, hitting an obstruction like a bridge piling or a boat dock or another vessel.
He adds the cause of increased fatalities also comes with the flooding we saw last spring and more people out duck hunting.
When you're going out in the morning, it's dark. Because you can begin shooting 30 minutes before sunrise with waterfowl seasons. It's dark. Obviously, that makes it much harder to see things. A lot of the duck hunting in Arkansas takes place in flooded river bottoms.
While we get ready to head into boating season, he's reminding people the best thing you can do to be safe is wear a life jacket.
A life jacket is just like a seatbelt in your car. It is the best way to protect yourself in the unlikely event of an accident.
According to Reed, only 33% of boaters wear life vests, and only one of the 17 deaths had their vest on. In Little Rock, Tanya Motorzycki, THV 11 News.
Patients at one of the state's most vital hospitals could soon pay more for care. Negotiations between White River Health and United Healthcare are stalled and time is running out. THV 11's Carter Threet reports from Batesville on what's at stake.
Patients from across north central Arkansas come here to White River Health. Many of them have the same insurance provider.
Are there a lot of patients who currently use United Healthcare that come here to Batesville?
In our service area, United Healthcare, between the commercial and the MA side, has about 10,000 participants.
White River CFO Shauna Ives says those 10,000 could soon be in trouble.
So we've been negotiating back and forth with United. It's just becoming more public because now we're down to the last couple days of the negotiation, and our contract with them ends on March 31st, 2026.
When the contract ends, White River Health will be out of network for United, shutting the door on low out-of-pocket costs.
We are asking for United fair, reasonable, comparable rates to our peers in Arkansas.
Ives says if they can't get a deal done, one of the biggest consequences is going to be travel for patients who will have to go miles and miles to find another hospital in network.
The closest in-network facility that is our size is going to be traveled all the way to Jonesboro or farther than that. So we're looking at 60 to 90 minutes for a patient that's going to have to drive to get the care that they need.
United Healthcare tells us they continue to engage in good faith negotiation and hope to reach a deal. So now the clock is ticking as White River Health says they need a deal that provides fair rates and reduces paperwork for their employees.
What we're asking is reasonable. It's what our peers are getting. And it's basically also just to remove some red tape. We have presented a fair offer to United, and so right now it is in United's court to accept that offer.
In Batesville, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
Carter, thank you. Other Arkansas hospitals have gone out of network or had contract disputes with United in recent years, including Baptist Health in Little Rock, Conway Regional Health System, and St. Bernard's Hospital in Jonesboro. Coming up next on your 11/11 weekend wrap-up, your options for sports betting just exploded here in Arkansas. We've got a closer look at the new odds next. The Little Rock Police Department has solved two 14-year-old cases leading to the arrest of two men in connection with separate 2012 shootings. Police say Javion Baker and Deontay Marshall have been linked to two deadly shootings from 2012. Baker faces capital murder charges in the death of Pedro Perez, while Marshall is also wanted for killing Andre Thompson. Authorities served the warrants this week, bringing long-awaited answers to the families of those victims. And we're learning more about a board's decision to block a North Little Rock's Gentlemen's Club from holding a liquor license. The Peppermint Hippo, just off of I-40 at the Morgan Maumelle exit, was cited for multiple violations, which led to a state board stripping its ability to sell alcohol. THV 11's Kathleen Rowley is following the developments and breaks down the new business's appeal.
The state alleges that the club caused a death, served intoxicated customers, allowed prohibited sexual contact, and made fraudulent charges on customers' credit cards. But those claims are now being challenged in court.
The state says that the investigation began after an anonymous source tipped off the Alcohol Control Board in 2025. This uncovered allegations that actions by the Peppermint Hippo may have contributed to the 2021 death of John Ribeiro. In court filings, the Peppermint Hippo's attorneys argue the club is not liable for his death. They say Ribeiro was removed from the club after threatening to fight and kill patrons and staff, and refused offers of rides from staff. Court documents say that he walked about 300 yards from the club, climbed a fence, and walked onto Interstate 40. Court records also show that the ABC and the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office conducted an undercover investigation looking for possible violations or criminal offenses inside the club. The club says that investigation found no evidence. Another violation alleged by the state involves fraudulent credit card charges. The appeal states that during the PCSO investigation, there was no evidence of cards being overcharged. The Peppermint Hippo says it remains open and that its team is committed to providing a safe, professional, and compliant environment for staff and guests. The Department of Finance and Administration, which houses ABC, said in a statement that it stands by the board's decision and intends to defend it in court.
There has not been a court date set yet. Kathleen Rowley, THV 11 News.
And trending this week, as the Arkansas Razorbacks basketball team draws national attention, local sports betting companies are going national too. FanDuel and DraftKings are now available in Arkansas. THV 11's Carter Threet shows us what that means for you.
You may have seen the ads.
Arkansas, the wait is over. Y'all better listen up.
But what do they mean? The ever-growing sports betting industry has reached a new milestone in Arkansas.
It's really, really exciting.
Zach Gillum is VP of Racing and Wagering at Oaklawn in Hot Springs. You'll now notice two logos in the corner of their sports betting app.
Instead of the old app, we have a new app. It's Oaklawn Sports FanDuel.
Oaklawn is partnering with the gambling giant, while Southland Casino in West Memphis joined forces with DraftKings.
I'm partial because I do work with DraftKings, but I've been around a lot of these sports apps, and this one is probably the easiest to navigate to find what you're looking for.
Gillum explained that FanDuel will function as a vendor.
In our old app, we had many vendors that we used to help have that app run. We had two main vendors. Now we have one main vendor. So that's the biggest change, is now when we want to make changes, we don't have to have as many people involved.
That means FanDuel provides the app's infrastructure, odds, and more. Both companies are offering deals to entice new customers, with DraftKings and Southland encouraging people to bet on the hometown team.
You bet $1 on Arkansas to score 1 point and you win $50. Now you have $50 to play on other things that are coming up.
With Razorbacks potentially making this deep run, we take on Arizona, hopefully get that win in the Sweet 16, move on to the Elite Eight.
In Hot Springs, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
Not everyone agrees with these changes. Saracen Casino in Pine Bluff sent THV a statement saying a local company like theirs pay millions in gaming taxes, while big national companies likely will not. Little Rock's grocery store on wheels is now open for business, and it's been making stops around the city ever since its grand opening 1 week ago. THV 11's Carter III caught up with it at one of its stops and tells us what's going on at the mobile market.
The grand opening was exciting, but what are things like on a regular day? That's what we wanted to find out.
It is awesome, and it's such a great need.
Thursday's stop was at the Madison Heights apartment complex, which is under the Little Rock Housing Authority and Deputy Director Dexter Brady.
There's no grocery stores close within the area, and we're in a food desert. So the mobile market allows our tenants that sometimes are elderly or disabled or don't have the means or the transportation to get where they need to go, they can come to a place right here on site that will provide them with the healthy food needs that they have.
There were some excited tenants at Madison Heights. A group of around 15 went in as soon as the market opened, followed by another large group minutes later.
We just got veggies, stuff to make a salad.
Latricia Lowe moved to Little Rock recently and said the mobile market is just what she needed.
Right now, we don't have any transportation, so this is a big help.
And if you can't make it to the mobile market one day, it's no worries. For the month of April, they plan to come to each of their stops, including Madison Heights, once every 2 weeks. Eventually, they might add more stops that happen monthly, as well as special annual events.
It's nice, the prices are nice, very reasonable, so I'll be back. I think they come back in April, we'll be back.
In Little Rock, Carter Thweet, THV 11 News.
Coming up next on your 11 on 11 weekend wrap-up, a music superstar is set to return to Central Arkansas. We have an exclusive one-on-one chat with John Legend next. Some big names are set to perform at the new Saracen Casino Resort in Pine Bluff this summer. One of those is Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, and Tony Award-winning artist John Legend. THV 11's Brooke Buckner got to talk with John about coming to Arkansas, his accomplishments, and his passion for music.
How are you feeling about coming to perform in Arkansas this summer? We are so excited to have you.
I'm so excited to come back to Arkansas. It's been a while. But I love doing this show. It's a very intimate night. It's just me on the piano, singing a lot of my songs in a very stripped down kind of way, unplugged kind of way, but also telling a lot of stories from throughout my career. If people are wondering, where I come from, what my upbringing was like, I talk a bit about that. I talk about some of the behind the scenes of some of the songs that people love, and some funny stories, some emotional stories, all of that mixed in with the songs.
You did achieve EGOT status, which that's not something a lot of people can say. How did that make you feel to accomplish that?
Well, I am grateful, first of all. I had always dreamt of winning Grammys when I was a kid. I always dreamt of making music for a living, but the other awards, I had no expectation of winning and no dreams of winning. But as I started to collaborate more and work in TV and film and theater and produce more, a lot of different opportunities came my way, and it allowed us to win the EGOT. My producing partner likes to brag that I would have only won the Grammy and the Oscar without being a producer. And so the fact that I'm a producer means I was able to win an Emmy and a Tony as well.
Congratulations. That is huge.
Thank you.
I want to talk about your songwriting process a little bit.
It starts with the music usually. Maybe I'll have one seed of a lyrical idea, but then the music kind of leads me into the rest of the lyrics. And I've been writing that way for a long time now, and it works for me. I love writing new songs. I love going to work and feeling like you start with nothing and you come out with something brand new that could change your life and change other people's lives. It's quite a feeling to be able to do that, and I'm grateful that that's my day job. I'm a songwriter.
That's amazing. I haven't written a song in quite a bit, but I have written a handful, and I'm the same way. It's easier for me to start with the music and then build the story around it.
It's easier for me too. I like it that way, and then music kind of leads me to lyrics because I start mumbling things that don't make sense, and then it kind of turns into lyric eventually. So I'm working on a new album. It's going to come out this fall, and we're pretty close to done with it. And then hoping to tour with that early next year or spring next year maybe. And then we're writing for Broadway right now. One of our shows is going off Broadway first this September. And it'll be the first show that I've ever written the full lyric and music for. And that'll be Imitation of Life, which is an adaptation of an old book and film from quite a while ago. And so that's coming out soon, and working on another Broadway show that is going to be a little further down the road. And I'm just loving it. I'm loving creating, I'm loving collaborating, and we're going to keep making music that we're excited about.
You are one busy guy. Do you ever sleep?
I love it. You know, I sleep plenty, and you know, I have a lot of family time as well. But when it's time to work, I work, and I'm very fortunate that my work is a lot of fun too.
Obviously, you're passionate about, you're making music, you're making other projects. Who or what is your biggest inspiration?
Well, you know, it's probably cliche to say it, but my family is very inspiring to me, and my last album was actually a children's album that was dedicated to my family, and they'll continue to inspire me, and I'm proud of being a dad. You know, I just went to parent conferences today and got to talk about my kids with their teachers, and Chrissy and I take a lot of pride in being parents, and they inspire us every day.
Now you can watch the full interview with John Legend on our website, thv11.com. Tickets are on sale now for the June 13th show on Ticketmaster. That's going to do it for our 11 on 11 weekend wrap up. I'm Tamer Knight. Thank you for joining us.